Welcome to Post Game on the Pitch. I'm Osvita Mariera. To my right, your left, if you're watching, is John Marshall. My left, to your right, if you're watching, he is Russell Brown. So we're going to kind of almost shout at you because this is the nature of Seattle sports. What you're hearing in the background is the transformation of Lumen Field going from a soccer field to a real football field. So it's natural, it's fun, we're going to have all of it, and it's live. So, but we do know this, the Sounders win 3-0, and it was a battle for the West, and the Sounders came up.
Yep, 3-0 on the day, puts them on 16 points to St. Louis's 15. St. Louis coming in as the best team in the West. And really, fairly even first half. Sounders a little bit more on the front foot. Second half, though, was all Seattle. They dominated, played fantastic game. Really made it difficult for St. Louis to be successful with the pressure that they put on.
Yep, okay.
St. Louis wanted to be really physical coming out. You saw that from the beginning. Sounders took a while, took some bruises, took some lumps there in the first half. John said they settled in and really were on the front foot from there on out, and made sure that LAFC remains the only team to beat them in their expansion season here at Lumen.
Yeah, I disagree in terms of it was an even first half. I think that the visitors came and dominated the first half for the most part because of the physicality.
Sure.
But the Sounders came on and in the second half settled down and played more direct ball. That first pass beat that press. How were they able to do that?
They were finding the passing lanes really well, getting guys coming to the ball to help defenders find an outlet. Steph was saying that he was looking to fake guys out with faking throws out of the box to try and get a defender to jump, open space behind him. They did a lot of tricks like that throughout the game and really just passed out of the pressure really well. It was one of the better performances we've seen for them passing-wise in a while.
So that's almost like a quarterback, right? With the two deep safety kind of faking and those kind of things. So they moved the defense around. What else did you see, obviously, from Josh Autencio? He gets the start for Sao Paulo, who, according to Brian Spencer, was could have played. We talked about this, I think, because of the Portland game.
Yeah.
What did you see, Russ?
Well, I think going on with what Spencer said as well, it was a rough start at the beginning for Autencio. Him and Rusnik kind of feeling it out early on, but he came in. He got that banger of a goal right to our left, and that kind of sparked not only the team, obviously the crowd as well, but his play it developed as the game went in. Once he started to settle down, him and Rusnik started to play well off each other, which really opened up the game for the Sounders.
And I think for me, the crowd was, they could have gotten to this game. I was expecting more of a, no, really. I mean, if they were coming out for the team in a class for the, for top in the West, I would have expected more of an eclectic atmosphere. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you some video from Brian Smetzer and also Raul Ruidiaz about them playing direct ball. And let's go to the video right now.
I would say that that's one of the many facets of what drives this team. And what I mean by that is, there's coaches and there's teams around the world that, coaches use, different lineups and different situations to drive the team forward, motivate guys to play. What I would say about a kid like Josh, a kid like Obed, senior players like, Albert and JP, Christian plays in there, I've dropped Nico back in there. They all want to play, but they all understand that the team comes first. And so when Josh is playing well, he's going to continue to get opportunities. It was a easy decision for us to be conservative with JP. Obed's going to get a shot in there, and maybe it's Josh, maybe it's Albert, maybe it's someone else. We will rotate through the squad throughout the year. But it's not my decisions that drives that group. It's not me saying to Josh or to Obed or to JP, hey, you better watch out or this kid's gonna take your spot. That's not the mantra of that group in there. That group is fully committed to each and every player trying to do whatever they can do to help drive the performance of the team. And I think that's a very, very distinct calling card for this group. They're not trying to prove to me that they deserve to play. They're trying to prove to themselves. and their teammates that they can help the group win games. About bringing, the fortress, I hate that word, but the feeling that teams had last year come in here and we can steal a point from Seattle or 2 or 3. We're trying to erase that. And so St. Louis was a good test for us because they're a good team. They started like a house on fire, and they've got some talented players. I like some of their players. But getting that shutout again was another good statement that we're going to make sure that teams don't come here and just, find a way to collect points.
Them, they have really good team, defensively, offensively, very compact, dynamic. The more important for us tonight was the passion, because we know they press and maybe sometimes they play better than us, but in the end, with the passion and the cliche, we knew in one moment we can score because we have great players in the starting and also in the bench.
In the second half, did you play more direct passes? And that was the difference?
Yeah, for sure. In the second half, you see all team play more directly and more forward. And maybe in the first half was a little difficult because the pressure, they press very good and we miss a little touch pass, and for us more easy play back sometimes. But in the second half, we knew we need to win because it's here in Seattle. Always we need to play forward, and we change quickly. And the good thing, we scored a goal, very good goal.
All right, so there you go. That was the video, and clearly that was not Raul Ruidiaz. That was Nicolas Madero. But you get the point that he was talking about the direct passing there. So what else did you see from the sound booth?
Well, the thing that we were talking about the past few matches, we're going to see Raul and Iber up top. Not quite. We saw them both on the field together. Spencer said both of them were not up top in that type of formation, but he really liked how they fed off each other. He really liked that look. He was excited about it, which means fans and us should be excited about it as well. So seeing how that can later go on in different situations, either Iber coming off the bench and joining Raul on the pitch as well, or what type of dynamic that could be the more we see it.
Yeah, and the on goal was from those three making the combination. Iber, Raul, Ruidiaz. So it was the forced turnovers, and in the end, you get that corner set piece, and that puts pressure on this. So that's what I think was tough.
And Raul got a goal as well, so that's obviously a good thing. And it was, mentioned about what have you done for me lately. You and I kind of joked about, with Jordan getting so much love, how many goals he's been scoring. Raul's still the 9 on this team, so it's good to see him score.
And then obviously there's chemistry there, right?
Yeah.
Leo Chow and Jordan Morris.
Yeah, Leo Chu and Jordan Morris have been getting the starts in the last couple of matches. First starts with Iber and Ruidiaz being injured at the same time, and Morris goes on this goal-scoring streak where he can't separate Leo Chu and Morris from the field. Spencer said he still loves that combination, still thinks that they're incredibly dangerous. And we did see it tonight that they, didn't get a goal, but creates lots of chances. Leo Chu is so fast that he stretches defenses. They're playing balls over the top and getting some success that way. It's really cool to see that they have so many options in the attack as to who they can start, who they can bring on as a sub. I mean, I think it's pretty great that you have Raul Ruidiaz coming in as your super sub at this point.
Well,
although I would doubt that that's going to continue for the rest of the season, but it'll be interesting to see how Schmetzer makes those decisions as to whether he's going to continue with the Morris and Leo Chu pairing, because they've been as good as they have been. He likes to reward guys who have been putting in great performances, and as long as those two guys keep putting in the performances they've been putting in, I think it's going to be tough for Ruidiaz to get back into the starting lineup, unless Ruidiaz starts coming off the bench and starts being man-possessed.
No. I don't know how you can say that, because he came off the bench and he scored.
And he was great today.
So there you go. So, I mean, I think, I'm not going to tell you what the lineups are, but I think it's all going to depend on the opponent. Yeah. And I think it's going to be whether it's home and away and those kind of things.
Absolutely.
But Raul Ruidiaz did show that he is back and he's ready. And Iber, obviously, to your point, he showed that. I think what Brian was saying is he had him at a wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at that,
Yeah.
and he told us to look at it, and I don't need to go do the homework, I could see it. We put him on the wing there and going back to that same play. All right, so that's it for post game on the pitch. But before we go, next week is the big one. The Sounders travel down to the Rose City to take on the Portland Timbers, who are struggling. But you know what? That's the kind of game with the Timbers, that's all they need is to beat Seattle and be on their way. So for John Marshall and for Russell Brown, I'm Osvita Mario here for post game on the pitch.